Vocalo Radio, Chicago's only NPR music station. I'm your host, Bekoe, the illest, coming through your stereo, rocking out your thankful Tuesday. It's a decent day outside today, but it's even better in here because previous to the break, I played an absolute vibe from Jordan Ward with Sidekick featuring Joyce Rice off his album, Forward. And the good news is Jordan Ward is in the building with me. How you feeling, Jordan?
Go, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. Look, I appreciate you being in the city. You on tour right now. I actually missed you out in New York.
Damn.
That's when I first learned. I'm like, what? Jordan Ward hit the stage.
Damn.
And I'm like, I just missed him. But guess what? I ain't gonna miss you tonight, though.
Hey.
I'm not gonna miss you tonight.
I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful.
Now, this is not your first time in the Chi.
No, I was actually born here.
Okay.
I was born in Hoffman Estates.
Well, that's Illinois.
Yeah, and my mom, she just moved here after college to work. But I'm from St. Louis, but this is like my other hometown, and I grew up coming here for like dance and family stuff and just performing. And I'm actually gonna be back. Is it May 9th?
I think it's April 9th, my brother.
No.
May 9th?
From my own tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, in May.
For the tour, yeah.
Yeah, at Reggie's.
Yep.
I'm gonna get that date corrected, but yeah, I'm gonna be back too.
So you said May.
Yeah.
Let me correct it on my end as well.
Hey, man, we trying to get it together, man. It's a lot going on.
It's like, yeah, I put April. Oops.
No, it's all good.
Now, before we even get into the tour talk, let's talk a little bit more about like St. Louis and how it musically, in a way, defines you.
Man, St. Louis musically, man, it is May 9th. Yeah, May 9th, Reggie's. I just had to go ahead and look at that. But, nah, man, St. Louis has so much, like, just presence in what I do. I mean, number one, St. Louis is a music city. You know what I'm saying? So our hockey team is called the St. Louis Blues. You know what I mean? It's like one of the first cities that black people went to from, like, the Great Migration, I think is what they called it when we moved up from the South. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the gospel music, the jazz, the ragtime, the hip-hop, the neo-soul, the trap, you know what I mean, the street music, the drill, the jug music, like, jug music, like, the stripping music, like, it's all there, you know, and I grew up going to church every Sunday as a kid. I grew up going to school, buying mixtapes real hand-to-hand, you know what I'm saying, like, really paying $1 and, like, getting a CD and, really neighborhood rapping and singing, like battling kids at the Y. And I also did a lot of musical theater as a kid too. And there's a big musical theater scene in St. Louis, and that had a huge impact on me as well.
That's what I was finna say. Like, how did even, going to school for theater make you develop you more into the artist you are? Because hearing your sound, man, I like to hear sounds that I don't hear on an occasion, and you don't have a saturated sound. So yeah, please let the world know, even the kids out there that's listening, like how theater has helped you.
For sure. Well, I actually I didn't go to school for theater. I went to like public regular school, but I pretty much did go to school for theater because I would be in school, like from the time I was in like middle school to high school, I would be in school for 7 hours a day, like every kid, but then I would be in dance and theater for like 9 hours a day. So, like, by the time I graduated high school, it was like I was doing 35 hours of school a week, but like 50 hours of dance a week. You know what I'm saying? So, it had a big impact on me. It allowed a space for me to, like, feel comfortable being myself and exploring myself and my quirkiness and my, because all my homies in my neighborhood and my cousin, my family, they play football and basketball. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like an artistic kid, you know what I'm saying? So, being able to go into theater just gave me practice on like building my own world and building worlds with the people around me, you know what I'm saying? And just having fun.
Did you ever feel any pushback? Yeah, and I say that because Michael B. Jordan, he took like theater and, he was looked at as like the quirky kid, lame and things of that nature. So, you coming up and learning your ways, did you ever get pushback from friends in general,
For sure. I mean, it's almost like, and the world is still in that place, but it's almost funny looking back because the world has moved so far. Like, it's like no kid would ever get called, like, maybe some kids get called certain names for wanting to dance and be creative and wear clothes. But I mean, back in the day, it was like, oh, you doing ballet, you doing theater. That's, that's gay or that's, that's, soft or this or that. And you know, now it's like, now I'm an adult and it's like, yeah, I have a soft side. You know what I'm saying? I embrace my feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like because of my mom, I was able to understand that early on and just be like, that's my superpower. You know what I mean? Be around people trying to be the hardest dudes, and I'm like, I'm wearing like pink jeans or some shit. Like right now I got yellow stars on my face. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we was just listening to Ralphie the Plug. You know what I'm saying? So I just love fully express myself. I don't know if that answered the question.
No, you did. You did. And it made me think about my cousin, who he's passed, but he did ballet. And I used to go check out a lot of his shows, and he literally would curate these events with ballet, singing, dancing, all of that. And, you know, it made me appreciate that more. Like going there at a young age, seeing he was older, just seeing him, you know, twirl on his toes and stuff. It made me appreciate it, because you don't really see brothers in those type of rooms and areas. Yep. So and that is a platform for us. Yep. So no, you answered you answered it correctly. And I also wanted to ask you before we get into this break, are you the only child?
I'm only child.
Yeah, you
Single
stated
parent,
that.
Only child.
You stated that in the album.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hold on, and the beat paused.
Yep. And then I sent my homie who produced on the album. He's from Chicago. He was just on the phone, like barely listening. He like, damn, that's deep. Like that shit is so funny. Like, cause I'm overly trying to explain it to him. You don't get it, man. It's like I'm the only child. Da da da. He just like, yeah, that's deep.
It is deep.
It's so funny though, like the way he said.
How is like knowing, you know, seeing how far you came and where you're at in today's, you know, and today's in your career. How was it for you being the only child? Because I have brothers and sisters, and you know that I feel like that helped me through a lot. But you don't have any brothers and sisters. You got family, but you solo. So how was that for you growing up?
Yeah, I mean, you know, honestly, I did feel it was fun. I had a great childhood, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I grew up in the performing arts. I didn't have any blood brothers, but I mean, you know, I had god brothers, play cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like people who are now like, I forget they're not actually my cousin. You know what I'm saying? So, and it did. I mean, it probably had its trade-offs. You know, I feel like being an only child allowed me the space to like develop maybe in a different way that I'm happy with now. You know what I'm saying? But you know, there was a little bit. I might have felt a little lonely, or I might have felt a little like confused on how to express myself or who I was, because I didn't have no big bro or, you know, much family to like help me see my identity outside myself. But I think everything happens for a reason. You feel me? I'm not mad. Like, and I love my bros. You know,
you shouldn't be. You right, and you right. Everything definitely happens for everything that happened in your life got you the way you are right now. You, me, and everybody listening. That's why I truly feel you on that. And you probably was spoiled.
Shit. You know what? Let me put it like this. I'll say, as a United States citizen, you know what I'm saying, I'm definitely spoiled. Like we're all spoiled. You know what I'm saying? And my mother, like my mom, by the time I graduated high school, my mom had 3 jobs. You feel me? So like she had a main job, she worked at Macy's, she worked at fucking a hotel. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You got me working today.
Sorry about. Am I cursing a lot?
You got me working today.
I'm so sorry. Let me pay attention. I sincerely apologize.
You know, one thing I will say, I appreciate it, because at the end of the day, you're comfortable. You know?
Yeah. I wasn't even. I'm so sorry to all the moms and the kids. Don't be ignorant like me. But you know, so I was spoiled because I had a mom that went the extra mile. But I mean, I won't say any further than that, because I also had 2 jobs in high school. You know what I'm saying? I was teaching dance classes, dancing at bar mitzvahs, assisting classes. You know what I mean? Since a young kid, I was catching public transit to school every day and then to dance because my mom had to go to work. You know what I'm saying? I had to fully be aware and express myself around all types of people. You know what I mean? My hardhead uncles, the county kids that I did dance with, you know, the righteous church people, the gangsters, the nerds, and it's like, I'm still me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I was spoiled, but I was definitely covered by God for sure.
I got you going back down memory lane, man.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, man, we ain't spoiled around here. You feel me? But honestly, no, the truth is, the more I travel, you know, like when you go to different places around the world, it's like, damn, we are spoiled. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I agree. I visited Accra, Ghana, January, and that's when, yeah, it hits you different when you start traveling. Like, we are, yes, us Americans, we are actually
I'm not even gonna lie.
spoiled. We got water we could drink from the faucet. You feel me? Some
Yeah.
people don't have that. But let's get into some music, Jordan. You know, you got your debut album under Interscope, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Before it is out, speak on, I want to make sure I say this correct, Cherimoya.
Cherimoya. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. I'm pretty sure, but it's Cherimoya, yeah.
So how you even come up with the title?
Man, so I became a fan of this fruit that I thought was a soursop when I bought it, because I put up to a farmer's market and I saw these fruits and I was like, oh, this is soursop, and I was eating it and I was putting it on my story, and my friend was like, oh, Cherimoya, that's fire. And I'm like, where's Cherimoya? And then I realized what I was actually eating. And I was just a fan, and I was in the studio eating it one day, and I didn't know what to write about, so I was like, I'm gonna write a love song to this fruit. You feel me? And it just became like a metaphor for like the most ideal replenishing love and beauty. You feel me? Like every lyric I'm really writing to the fruit, but it's a love song, so it sounds like you writing to whoever. You know what I'm saying? When I say I'ma eat you on the beach, I'm talking about inanimmately. I'm gonna eat you on the beach. You know what I'm saying? But take it how you want it, you know?
Yo, I love hearing how song titles and just the songs come about. Yeah. That's unique right there. Y'all finna hear it right now. Y'all don't go nowhere. It's Vocalo Radio. Previous to the break, we were speaking on, you know, your background in St. Louis, your childhood, how you got introduced to, we actually didn't speak on how you got introduced to music, really. But in a way we did. Yeah. About like the, you know, how the music scene in St. Louis. And then, you know, I learned that you actually transitioned from St. Louis to LA, and you were kind of young too. Yeah. You were like, what, 18?
18, yep. So I'm sorry, you finish that thought.
I was going to say, like, you know, with you being 18, moving out the crib, you know, everybody parents want their kids out the house at 18. Yep. But you actually were, you know, you were able to make some moves on your own at the age of 18, and you moved to LA. So how was that transition for you?
Yeah, well, so I graduated high school. My last day of high school was May 13th, 2013. I graduated May 14th, and we left May 15th. We drove from St. Louis to LA. I got there on the 17th. So it was just something that I had been preparing for years, you know what I mean? Like, by the time I got into high school, I knew I wanted to move to LA and be a dancer. Before that, I had kind of grew up thinking I wanted to be like Lil Romeo or Chris Brown or something, you know what I mean? I used to
Bow Wow.
Yeah, you know, exactly, Bow Wow. You know, I used to write raps and battle people and sing and all that, and I never really recorded anything. But by the time I got into high school, I just wanted to be a commercial dancer. And I started traveling on my weekends in high school to go do different workshops and train under different programs around the country. Like I said, going back, me and my mom was both working, you know what I mean? So one weekend I would be working, she would be working, and the next weekend we put the money together, get a Southwest flight. I would fly by myself to a city, you know what I'm saying, and train at a convention for 2 days, probably stay with some kids that I know that we do this all the time, you know what I mean? And throughout the years, I just started kind of like building my experience in that realm and meeting mentors. And by the time I graduated high school, it's like I had already gone to college for dance while being in high school, you know what I mean? So, yeah, and then I just moved to LA and got with my agent and just started auditioning. For the first couple months, I was like doing some just low-paying, like under-the-table gigs, dancing for random people, working at Macy's, working at Abercrombie. I feel like I had $300 when I moved, but my mom the other day, she was like, you only had $35. I was like, I feel like it was like $300, but I ain't have a lot, you know what I'm saying?
Still, that's crazy to hear.
Yeah.
and then hearing you, speak on OG actually helping with the investing and making sure you good and moving around. I know that's like a chip off your shoulder because everybody don't have that type of support.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said when you said earlier, like you spoiled. I'm like, I feel like my biggest spoil was just my mom's belief. Like some parents just not even gonna go the extra mile. Like, no, you're gonna go play basketball so you can get a scholarship. And you're gonna go do this, and that's not a bad thing unless that's not what the kid wants. But my mom saw like, yo, you're getting in trouble at school for singing and dancing. So let me just put you in some singing and dancing. You know what I'm saying? And
look, hold on, I gotta give a hand clap to your mama on that, man.
Shout out Mama Ward
for Mama Ward.
Shout out Mama Ward.
Has she been with you on any of these tour dates?
She hasn't pulled up to any of these yet, but she's been to some other stuff in the past.
Gotcha.
She's been to plenty of stuff in the past.
Now, also, you've linked up with Becky G. You became a backup dancer for Justin Bieber as well. I got to hear you break down, like, how was it being on stage dancing for these amazing, talented artists?
Man, it was crazy. It's literally my dream. Like I said in high school, like, I remember I would watch like Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake and Usher and they're dancers and just know the dancers and watch them on YouTube and go take their classes. So doing that stuff was like surreal, you feel me? And Becky, that's like the homie, you know what I'm saying? I don't see her all the time, but it's like fam, you know what I mean? Her family and everything, and it was great, man. That was like the first artist I really got to really dance for an extended period of time. Everything from state fairs to TV shows to opening at arenas, you know what I'm saying? And then I did that for like my first year, like 19 to 20 in LA, or like my second year. And then after that, I auditioned for the Bieber tour and got on the Bieber tour, and I was with him for like 2.5 years. And that was crazy because that was like, I wanted to be like an arena touring dancer. Like, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to tour arenas.
So when did the transition come? You said, because that's what you wanted to do, but you end up
transitioning doing music.
Into music.
So I was on that tour. I started dancing with him in 2015, and then we started touring in 2016, and I was on tour with a bunch of dancers, and one of the dancers / martial arts trickers, his name is Ru. He's an amazing artist from Sacramento. He's like one of my mentors, one of the coldest in the game. But I would just be around him a lot in our hotel rooms, doing herbal practices, if you know what I'm saying, because we're on the radio. Yeah. And under the influence of those herbal practices, stream of consciousness, rapping and poetry would just flow out of me, you know what I'm saying? While he's making beats in Ableton. And he would just look over and be like, dang, bro, that's kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? And then it just turned into me freestyling on his laptop to, man, let me stop in Berlin and get this recording equipment and just start recording my own stuff in the hotel room. So now, instead of going out every city, and partying with my friends after the shows, it's like, all right, I'm gonna stay in the hotel and like hook this up and get in GarageBand and record. And then a few months of doing that on the road, then my breaks turned into, okay, I got a few months off the road. I'm finna go to the studio. I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna block out 8 hours a few days of the week and record these demos. And then it's like, dang, I want to make a tape. Then a year later, it's like, oh, I'm off the road. I'm off tour, and I'm finna drop this EP, and now I need to do a listening party. And then,
it sounds like it
I'm just in it.
It just came.
It just came. Just because it's fun. Like, I was like, dang, I think I want to make a tape. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be hard.
So when did you see the turning point? Like, all right, my dancing career is probably about to be put on hold, and I'm gonna more than likely focus on music.
Yeah, initially it came probably at the end of the Bieber tour. The thought probably came to me middle of Bieber tour, like end of 2016, and then by the end of 2017, I was like, all right, I'm finna just focus on the music, because I was working with some. I'd seen it kind of moving in a direction where, dang, I could really just focus on this, But then there was a period of time after that where it's kind of like I started getting dance opportunities that I always wanted, and it's like, dang, let me let me just do this. You know, let me not miss this audition because I always wanted to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I started doing a little more of that stuff, and then it got to a point where it's like, all right, I'm either gonna stop or not. You know what I mean? Like, getting offers for, you know, and I'm not trying to talk big on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm grateful to the source. You know, it's all a part of a greater plan. But you know, certain opportunities would keep coming, and it's like, you know, I'm either gonna go towards this direction of security and fun and being able to just go to Australia and tour for 3 months, dancing for this artist, dancing for this, dancing for that, and get a steady bag, or I might, you know, thug it out a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and just go to the studio. And I had met my team. I had met my team that I work with, Joanne Hunter, Tim Glover, No ID. I met them like top of 2018, like right after I dropped my first EP, and that kind of gave me the confidence, like, okay, let me, you know. But then not too long after that, I dropped Valley Hopefuls, which is like my second project, and like after Valley Hopefuls, it was like, the music was moving, but the money was not. So I was like, I got to start dancing
Especially
again.
with you getting that dancing bag.
Well, I was like, I got to start dancing again. You know what I mean? So I had to jump back in the dance game. And that's why I don't even like to say I'm out, because it's like, I'm a dancer. Like, I forget being a professional dancer, being in the quote unquote industry or game or whatever. Like, I love the art form.
You do it in your music videos. You see, you did this Split and Fam Jam 3000, 4,000.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it reminded me of the days I used to be able to do Split.
You can do that?
I used to.
Man, I need to see it, man.
You ain't gonna see it nowadays.
All right.
Used to. But I would say too, man, I got some music loaded up from Fort, which is your debut album under Interscope, because we gonna chat about you linking with Interscope as well as going on tour, because you've been doing tours, but now you're going on tour musically. So y'all don't go nowhere. Here's White Crocs. I mean, if you don't got the idea behind White Crocs, I don't know what's wrong with you. It features Ryan Trey.
St. Louis.
And you fit it here right here on 91.1 FM. Let's jump into when your life changed, because 2020 hit. You know, a lot of people's lives changed in 2020 due to the pandemic. But your life changed, you know, pandemic hits, and then you also struck a deal with Interscope. So striking that deal for you, was it a little nerve-wracking? I mean, when I say nerve-wracking, I mean, like, you know, did the pandemic hit before or after the signing?
Before I get into that, I just want to point out the fact that you just played White Crocs with me and Ryan Trey, and then you played SZA Good Days. That's a whole lot of St. Louis. But I'm gonna just, you know, I just had to say that on the radio. You feel me?
But you peep what I'm doing.
But I see what you know. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. A whole lot of Midwest.
Yes.
But no. So actually, it was the same year. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like around the same time, and yeah, it was interesting, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I'm just locking myself into a path in a really unstable time. But I think honestly, 2020 was one of the most like appropriate years. Like, I feel like I grew up hearing about 2020 since I was a kid. Like, it was a constant reference for like the future in 2020, and it's like that thing definitely reset everything. You feel me? So it was an interesting time, but it's crazy. It's almost 3 years later, and it's going all right.
Yeah. So. And speaking of reset, like, your life got a big reset. You know, you inked the deal. Now, you know, you're pumping out music on a professional level. You already were doing that, but now it's actually your job to make music for a living. At any point when you signed, were you like a little hesitant at first at all? Like, man, do I really want to do this, or should I actually stay independent?
For sure. I mean, yeah, I definitely just had a natural sense of like apprehension. Is that the right word? Just like, yeah, a little bit of hesitation, because it's so big. I feel like anything I do, I mean, I get nervous before I go on stage every night. You know what I'm saying?
I get nervous before I hit the mic every morning.
You know, and it's because we care about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not nervous when I take a step. You know what I'm saying? Because I do that all day long. I mean, by the grace of God, don't strike me down on my next step. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for the steps, but, you know, I definitely was nervous, but I think it happened exactly how it needed to. And you know, shout out to all the independent artists out there, man. And I feel like we as creatives should always maintain a sense of independence, no matter how we're moving. You know, it's always collaboration. But I'm grateful for my team. I'm grateful for Interscope, man. Everybody on my team, my product manager, Crystal, Jamie Levine, Andrew. I'm going to forget mad people, Tim Glover, everybody at the label, my manager, Eddie. But, you know, I'm grateful to have a team and to learn. So.
What's something that you've learned the most, you know, being signed, whether that's development or touring, which we'll talk about, but, you know, what's something that's of importance that you've learned since becoming a signee under Interscope?
Well, I feel like it's two things, and they're kind of the same thing, but one is just like the work does not stop. And I always knew that, you know what I mean? But the more you collaborate with people and the more you plan out, the more that everybody's counting on you. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go hard. You know what I'm saying? When you bet bigger and you ask for more, it's like it requires more work. And the second part to that is just preparation is your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, this album, we finished this album. We was mixing the album, about to turn it into mastering like April of last year. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But everything takes time, from getting the budgets right to clearing the samples to, you know, shooting on film, developing the film, you know what I mean, to getting the treatments right, to, you know what I'm saying? You want everything to go through its due process, and I'm so grateful how it's turned out because we allowed that time.
You just made me think, man, what was one of the biggest challenges putting together Forward?
One of the biggest.
Because, you know, this your debut album under the label. I know you probably had to go back and sing some hooks that you probably wasn't in the mood to really do over.
I mean, well, the music is a constant war for me. You know what I'm saying? I love the music, but I do envy those people who just like, yeah, I can just go in the studio and do 6 songs a night like it's nothing. Because the music for me is literally, most of the time, I'm at war with myself. Like, just get it done. So I won't even say that's the hardest part, because it's always hard, you know, but it's a labor of love. The other part that's hard is just getting everything in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearing the samples, getting the creative to match the timing and the budget and people's schedule, and not sacrificing the integrity of the art for something transactional. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, this is art. Like, at the end of the day, this stuff is going to live forever. So the money is going to come. Another day is going to come. Hopefully. You feel me? But this art lives forever. So probably I'd say just managing my emotions throughout all of that. You know, that's the hardest part. It's just like being a team player.
I got to ask you, too, before we transition into touring, what's some of your favorite? Give me at least, I gave you my 3 off air. Give me at least your 3 favorite songs off Forward. And then we got to talk about the title, too.
Mm-hmm. My 3 favorites. So, I mean, all the singles and everything, those are obviously, you know what I'm saying, some standouts. So I'll maybe speak to some other ones. I really like 0495.
Okay.
That song is it's one song, but it's secretly 2 songs for 2 different years, like 2004 and 1995, you know? And I like that song a lot, just sonically, and just the idea is cool to me. Another song that I love Buzz Down. That's the first song. That's about me being 13, riding to the mall with my friends. You know what I'm saying? About to split $50 on some food, movie tickets, clothes, whatever.
Real friends, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got $50. What are we about to do? And then, shoot, I like Price Tag / Beverlywood with me and Lito. I think that one is pretty fire.
I like that stuff. Man, I would have the album on repeat.
Appreciate it.
And it had me thinking Forward. You know, of course, your name is within the title.
Forward.
You know, so let everybody know why you chose this title for this album.
Yeah, so Forward, the album, just the idea kind of started as like a self-titled idea. I wanted to kind of do an album called Jordan. But then just the essence of that idea just evolved into being an album that introduced me, but but also reintroduced and maybe added more context. Because a lot of my music up until this point has been, I'm a young dude, I'm in LA, I practice herbal remedies, you know what I'm saying, with female counterparts, and drive a Nissan Versa, and I dance, and I need more money, but now it's like, now I want it to be like, all right, whose son am I? Who was I before that? Who was I when I was 13? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was I doing with my god brothers? Like, what do I do this for? And also realizing, this is in a lot of ways the beginning of my next role as a elder person in my family, or an elder person in the human family in the world. So you have forward, the first layer, which is like forward evolution, evolving the sound, evolving the creativity, evolving as a person. Then you have forward, you know what I mean, which is like a dedication to my family, our story, my story, Young Ward. Then you have forward, because it's my fourth project, so it's the fourth Ward project. I have 2 EPs and the tape before this. And then it's also my debut album, so it's a forward in the story. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's
that's 4 meanings.
What? They say triple entendres, and that was I can't even, quadruple.
I don't know what it is.
That's crazy.
I was on mushrooms.
You funny. You on tour right now with Smino. You all are hitting the stage tonight.
Smino and JID.
And JID, correct, at the Aragon Ballroom tonight.
Yes, sir.
And one thing I learned is that Smino personally, like, hand chose you to, be a part of this tour. And I gotta know, how has this tour opened your eyes toward the music industry?
For sure, yeah, and I didn't mean to cut you off and say JID, so I just, what I'm saying, they're both so great, and shout out to Smino, he definitely expressed that to me personally like a while ago, like, yo, I want to bring you on tour, and that's just huge because he's been a hero of mine in the whole city for years now. He's paved the way as a St. Louisan, as a black creative, as an entrepreneur, so I'm grateful. But how has it opened my eyes to the music industry?
Correct.
I would say it's just shown me that, that I'm grateful for the industry and we need the industry. It's a beautiful thing, but, you have the industry and you have the art. So when you stick your head down, you go to the studio every day and you indulge in these stupid ideas and these drawings, but with your whole heart and love and you believe, you might be able to use the industry to go out there and perform for thousands of people and, bring people like me to open up for you and sell your merch, and it's just inspiring me to keep doing that. That the real love and real art can manifest into something in the industry, or so I'm grateful.
I'm gonna end us off on a quote that you said. You said, "I feel like you're not a real creative if you don't want to quit every day."
Facts. I mean, at some point. You know what I'm saying? Because you really gotta love it. It's like, I'm pretty sure there are periods where our parents probably wanted to kill us every day. Like, literally take our lives. Like, you know what? You're done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's just proof that they love us. Because they, you know what I'm saying? That you're willing to go to the wit's end every day to, like, find that love. And I'll never stop. I may feel like it. I might be in the booth and be like, man, I'm ready to quit. And then 5 seconds later, I'm like, all right, let me do that again. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, what am I talking about?
Now, I got a joint loaded up off Ford. It's one of my favorites. Fam Jam 4000. Chicago,
Sersky.
Trust me when I say turn y'all radios up. It's a straight vibe. It's off his album Ford. Please let people know how they can stay in tune with you as far as following you on Instagram, social, whatever, and how they can, of course, stream the project.
For sure. Well, you can check me out at myspace.com. I'm just playing.
I'm finna say what?
I'm at Jordan Ward. That's JORDANWARD on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. On Spotify, I think it's Jordan Alex Ward. My website is jordanalexward.com. We have tickets there from my headline tour in May. I'm going to be back on March 9th at Reggie's. We got my first headline tour, Tourward. Tickets up there. We got merch online. I'm rocking the young Forward trucker hat right now. Designed and handmade by my brother, also my DJ, Kato. He's freaking amazing. The quality is fire. And We got the album out right now. We got the tour coming soon. Let's go. I'm gonna be back. I'm grateful. I love Chicago.
Hey, we love you as well, my brother. Stop by anytime, man.
Of course.
And with that being said, we finna get into one of my. You might see me bust a split on this one.
Be careful.
It's called Fail Jail 4000. Catch you in the Windy City Hour from 12 until 1 p.m. It's Vocalo Radio.